Washington's about to join the Big Ten, and so you're kind of coming back to the Big Ten because you had stints in Minneapolis and Ann Arbor. Any lasting memories from your previous Big Ten experience?
It's cold. I remember that at both those places, but great football, great culture, and to get back into the Big Ten is just it's really the reason why I took the job. It's a special conference, and it's great football, great academics, and great people.
What's life been like since you came to Seattle?
It's been wild. We had 38 scholarship players when I got there, so we had to assign a full team. We had one returning starter, trying to figure out how to build the roster back to where we want it, coming off of a very long season that they had. So learning the culture of Seattle, meeting a lot of people, and then with our team really trying to build a team.
You're well aware that that was a job coming in, but how daunting has it been? Because obviously after what happened last year, folks don't want to hear about who left and who's there. They like the expectations of getting back to the college football playoff.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to do that? But I also recognize that we have a completely different team. There was 10 drafted players on that team. There's 13 players in the NFL. So it's not the same team. It's the same university. But we have to build it back up. We have to start from where we are today, and we have to build our program the way we want to build it with our culture. And we know there's going to be some growing pains along the way, but we look forward to the opportunity to compete for championships through our process.
How did you build it in Tucson? Again, I know different school, different process, but a lot of the logistics and a lot of the processes, I'm sure, and your philosophy will try to remain the same. How'd you build it and how do you translate it?
Yeah, well, you know, our whole thing was we're a family-first operation, which a lot of people say. I don't know if everyone does. We're very much into the NFL and the way we did things in the 14 years that I had the opportunity to coach in the league. And we're one in which that we want to build it through high school recruiting. We went 1-11, 5-7, 10-3 at Arizona, and each year we really just started playing more younger players, and we had a team of freshmen and sophomores that finished out the season on a 7-game win streak. Our goal is to do the same. Get a lot of high school players, a lot of young players, and let those young players develop and get better and better and better. And as they do that, then you'll be able to have sustained success.
I'm glad you brought up your time in the NFL because I think it's fascinating. For a long time, college always emulated what the NFL did. And then it seemed like there was a period where the NFL was actually stealing from some of the college schemes. So how did your time as an NFL coach help you become a college head coach?
Yeah, well, I think it's a combination now. Now there's a lot of scheme that gets taken from each other. There's really a lot of not sharing, so to speak, but taking from one another and watching their tapes and using their plays, and they watch us. But now it's so much more. Having NFL experience of understanding salary cap, understanding roster management, understanding the difference between the draft and free agency and pro football to high school recruiting and the transfer portal in the college world, dealing with administrators that are much more focused in now on the finances, similar to if you're an NFL team talking to your president or your owner. So all of those relationships are really what's changed all of that aspect of football. We hired Steve Belichick to be our defensive coordinator, so we're bringing in that NFL mentality there as well. So schematically, we're NFL, but also culturally.
It's fascinating that you bring up the term salary cap because we're going through this legislation right now, which will likely lead to revenue sharing. As a coach, I know your first job is to build the roster and get the most out of your roster. But this ancillary stuff that has become more and more important, whether it be the NIL and the revenue sharing or the transfer portal, how do you kind of balance those responsibilities?
Well, I think it's everything. Roster management is now based upon finances in a lot of ways. And with the revenue sharing that's going to go on here, that you're really going to be building your roster through financial capabilities. And then on top of it, you're going to have to monitor and evaluate like what changes are going to happen in the transfer portal. I don't think anybody really knows what's coming our way here. And we're going to start seeing changes in the transfer portal. We're going to start seeing changes in NIL deals. We're going to start seeing changes in hopefully time at programs, that guys aren't going to be leaving your program after a year or semester or a year and a half, and people are going to feel like you don't go chase something when you have it right there. The commitment that the Big Ten's making in football is incredible. So we're hopeful that we're able to secure a roster and keep them.
It's a lot of new for you, obviously. You have a new school, you have a new job, you have that school leaving its old conference to join its old conference, a new conference, I should say. It was going to be a transition period anyway, so you to look at it like that to kind of avoid being overwhelmed by all the additional transition that's there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot right now. There's no question about it. There's a lot of things that you're trying to balance and budget and manage as a head coach in year one, in the Big Ten, the first year in a conference, and all the things that are going into that. But it's also the greatest challenge and the greatest opportunity. And I love it. I love every day of it. Waking up and having a chance to impact. You're still impacting 85 to 120, 18 to 22-year-olds. And how you do that, and as long as you continue to love that, then this is the right spot.
I didn't have a chance to look at all the road games that you coached when you were in Tucson. Did you make a trip up to Seattle during that period?
We did. We played.
So you know what it's like as a road team up there. What are the road Big Ten teams going to see up there?
Yeah, well, it's the greatest setting in college football. There's no question about it. It's right on the water. It's beautiful. The crowd's wild and crazy, and the way the stadium's built with the volume onto the field. I mean, it's an incredible environment. It's an incredible place to coach. It's an incredible place to play. I've not been successful in Seattle, either at UCLA or at Arizona.
Well, that's probably good now, right? Because you're on the other side of the story.
Yes, so I am 0-2 as a visiting team, so we're going to, hopefully the visiting teams continue to lose games there. But it's an incredible place. It's an incredible place to coach a game, to watch a game, to be a part of it, and it's certainly the greatest setting in college football.